Welcome to the vlog.
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 Welcome to the vlog, season 6.
Welcome to the vlog!
Monday came and went very quickly. I was just working all day and there was nothing really all that special that happened, but at least it was a beautiful day. I went to my parents and did a very hard threshold workout before having pizza with my family, and we were experimenting with one of the pizzas, ricotta and squash one, watched Arrested Development, and then went to bed. The next day I had the day off because of the stat, and I got in a wonderful swim in the morning. It was looking so autumnal outside. I spent the afternoon at Turner's house. We watched the It prequel and then had dinner together. It was a really nice evening before just coming home and relaxing, and then I didn't get to sleep over at Turner's because I had to go to work at 7, so I got up early to go to the gym, got a strength training session in, and then went to a conference. I did the first session online and then went in person to do that. Got a free lunch out of it and then prepped for my hackathon at work.
Okay, I just got home from work about 5:15 right now. I'm feeling like it's been a long day, but overall, I'm in decent spirits. Today was just a really long day because of the early start and then the later end. I'm going to a hackathon tomorrow, which is gonna be something like 8:30 to 5-ish. So it's gonna be another long day tomorrow, but I'm looking forward to it. The reason I was at work late today was because we were doing some prep for the hackathon, and I didn't even get to stay for all of it, but at a certain point me and my group were talking and we had to go because I still have to get in a 1 hour either walk or run. We're gonna see how it goes. I'm wearing my running shoes in case I can get in like a slow pace, but I really need to be respectful of my body today, and I was not that on Sunday. I was going a little too fast. Not in the worst mood right now, but I certainly am a little bit discombobulated.
Hamstrings are still tight, so I did a very slow run, went to my grandparents for dinner, and Molly has a killer leg day that I've been wanting to see, so we did that together and I had a really good time. I don't think I'm gonna get a very good sleep tonight, but that's okay. No, I'm not even. Bit of a negative mindset. Today was a long day, 7 till 5, barely any break, but it was engaging. The conference was really good, and I did some meetings and then hackathon prep, which should be good. Tomorrow's gonna be a long day, but it should be fun. I'm gonna learn a lot, which is always good. Yeah, it's just gonna be a long day, but once tomorrow's done, Friday, like relaxed, only because like I'm working from home. I still have a lot of meetings and work to do because I basically haven't had a chance to do any real work today, and then I won't be able to do real work tomorrow. It'll be nice to just be able to be at home. Anyways, I'm just gonna hopefully enjoy the time that I am in bed now. I got such a poor sleep and it didn't feel good to have to go do a 90-minute bike ride, but I got it done and I was feeling really proud of myself for just pushing through the uneasiness of getting up. It was raining so hard, but I made it to the hackathon and I was so locked in coding all day. It was a half stressful, half very fun experience, and as soon as it was over and the sun came out, I was feeling very happy with how the day went. It's 8 o'clock now. I got home probably at around 6:30-ish, and I have essentially just been lying in bed. I have been so tired. It was a long day today. I do kind of want to talk about the solution I made, but it might have to be another day or cut in and edit.
Hi, me from the future, just wanting to give a bit of a description of what we were working on. So our idea was kind of centered around building a agent which could help with emergency department triaging. So basically the way it works in the emergency department is that nurses have to see every patient and hear about their case and assign them a acuity score or a CTAS score, which is just the name of the official Canadian triaging score that has a guideline and a whole description of how to classify it. So it ranges from CTAS score 1, which is equivalent to resuscitation, needs to be seen by a clinician immediately, to 5,
having less urgent needs and needing to be seen by a clinician within a couple hours. So what we ended up doing, and I was in a team with several other people from BCH, we kind of split up the work, but so I'll just be kind of describing more of the stuff that I did. It started out by me parsing out a PDF that has all of the CTAS guidelines. And so I parsed it out in a way that it segmented it into different sections that can help the model more easily grab the relevant information it needs to make a CTAS score classification. So let's say the patient in their description describes their pain. There's a whole section on pain here that allows the model to make a more informed decision of how to score that person based on the pain that they're describing. From there, we transformed this text representation of the document into what's called a vector search index. And what this essentially does is transform the text into numerical representation. Numerical representation for models is how they understand language, and it also helps the agent, which will be taking in text and then trying to figure out what parts of that document are relevant for me to look up to make my decision. If the patient is talking about pain, it only wants to look at the parts of the document that are talking about pain when it's trying to include that in its decision. And so comparing two numbers together is much easier than comparing the similarities of two words for a model. So that's why we have to transform it into that representation. And then what we do is that we create an agent, and this is all kind of done automatically for us, which is really great. But the thing that we have to do is provide this large language model a prompt to say, this is your job and this is your goal and this is how you do it. So we're essentially just saying, hey, you're an ED acuity nurse assistant. You're going to be listening to the patient and then providing a CTAS score. The CTAS score is 1 to 5. And then you also need to cite your sources of why you came to that response, and then do not give advice on what the nurse or patient should do next. Your job is to only provide the score. Great. So we create our agent, and then this is just an example of some interactions with this agent in what's called a playground space. It's just allowing you to test everything out. So right here we have a case of somebody having an anaphylactic reaction to a bee sting, and it correctly categorized it as CTAS 1, meaning that it's a pretty severe case. They need to be seen immediately. And then I also provided a case of a person wanting to get some sutures removed, and this was classified as 5, not urgent, which was correct. So this was us just looking at the efficacy of it. I did not have time on this particular hackathon to do a real rigorous scientific evaluation of how well this agent does. Maybe that's something I'll get to do in the future, but this was just a proof of concept to show how this agent could be used for triaging. And then the last thing that I was involved in with this whole 6-hour endeavor was to actually create the app. So I had done web development. I had 2 co-ops when I was 20, and when I was 21 I did co-ops doing web development, front end, full stack, that stuff like that, but I have not touched code for web development in forever, so it was kind of fun to do this for the first time and like create all the buttons and the spaces for how this app would work. But the way that we had the data flow was that we had some recordings that we took and then transcribed the case. So right now we didn't have the capacity to build something that records something live, so we just took files. We actually did have a data flow where it went from an MP3 file to the transcription, so the proof of concept is there. And then we have the case transcription, and then from there we take that, we click the triage button, and it takes a bit of time because it just has to go through the LLM, but then we're able to get that acuity score with the model's reasoning underneath it. Doesn't look very pretty, but you know, it's working. And then I wasn't too involved in the wait time estimation algorithm. That was something my teammates did, but we had set a fake simulated status at the ED with saying like, oh, there's X many patients and the different acuity scores are this. What is the wait time for this patient coming in with acuity score 2? And according to this algorithm, 62.9 minutes, which is a long time. That's not very nice for a C-test tube. Yeah, that was the app we created. I'm pretty impressed with the amount of work that we were able to get done in one day, and I'm very happy with the results of it. Do I think that this is something that can actually get implemented here? I don't know. I have definitely some reservations about it in practice. I think that this was just is obviously just an idea. It hasn't been tested with clinicians. Who knows if this is something that would actually resonate with the ED triage nurse and actually help them with their job. I think it's a great proof of concept, and I think that it would be very interesting to see how well it would aid this triaging process and if it would help. But in terms of being able to develop something in one day, it was really amazing to put all this work into it and to have something like actually mildly functional to show for it. So yeah, that was my hackathon experience, and wow, hope you enjoyed the demo. Anyways, the next morning I was up bright and early for a swim with Abby. We both had a really fun time. We were very strong during the swim, and then I got home, had some meetings, and then worked for the rest of the day. I thought it was going to be more chill than it actually was. It ended up being stressful, but whatever. Once the day was over, Turner came over and we chilled with each other for a little bit, got sushi, and then I got to watch him at his hockey game. It was so much fun. I love watching him play hockey. Here's him winning a face-off. Very fun. And his team won 5-1, so that was awesome. And then afterwards we met up with some of his friends for drinks, and then I had to come home and get up early the next morning to do a Zoom group ride with my coach and then a lot of the other people that she's coaching. So I had a really good time doing that, and I got through the ride. I was very happy with how everything went, but of course I was feeling super tired afterwards. I had only gotten like 5 hours of sleep the night before, so I wasn't necessarily feeling 100%. Had lunch at my grandparents, and then I went home. This Saturday afternoon was honestly so fun and just very low key. Me and Abby met up with each other. We saw little kitty sitting in the cat cafe, got drinks, and then just went for a nice walk.
Our backyard. Isn't it beautiful?
I got home and I was so exhausted, made myself dinner, watched Hunger Games, and just truly relaxed.
I'm so tired. I actually feel like Ironman training levels of tired right now. Am I training for an Ironman? Absolutely not. On my Oura Ring, the past week, all of my readiness scores have been completely atrocious. I wake up every day with my heart rate elevated and my HRV being low, and low-key feeling like I'm hungover, even though I'm like not drinking. So I don't know why the fuck I'm waking up feeling like such garbage, but such is life. I recognize I also haven't been doing the best job of ensuring myself getting like more than 7 hours. I am waking up early, especially yesterday, going to bed late. Like yesterday night I didn't get to bed till like 12 or 12:30. Maybe that's something next week that I can do better on, but tomorrow I'm definitely getting a good amount of sleep, and I don't have any social plans till 1, and I have to get in a run and a weight session tomorrow before that, but that gives me tons of time to do it, so I think that it should be good. Anyways, off to bed. Good news, I got almost 10 hours of sleep last night, and this is the best that I've felt in probably more than a week, which is just really nice. I have to go out on my run today, but it's gonna be more, again, similar to Wednesday, a little walk run situation, going quite slow and just keeping everything in control. And luckily it doesn't seem to be raining too much. It's honestly just crazy how much sleep really is making me feel better and just feeling well rested. I've been waking up every day feeling really, really grumpy and just not in a good like mental headspace for the past 2 weeks. And I think a part of it is I'm finally coming down a bit from Ironman, which is natural, and feeling a bit of directionless about what I want to do with my life. And funny enough, I have all of the races that I want to do in 2026 kind of figured out, and I'm really excited about them. But I think in terms of like my athletic goals, nothing is as big of a deal as like my first Ironman. There's nothing that is really like this unachievable challenge to me anymore. Everything is just more fun and part of like staying healthy and being really involved in my hobby, which I don't have a problem with. Like I'm happy to just like focus less on my athletics. When I say I feel directionless, like Ironman was this goal that I had for 9 years and I've been working towards it. And now that I got it, I definitely have taken the time to let it sit and be really proud of myself. But now I just have to figure out, well, what do I want to work towards next? I like personally, I like having a goal. I like have something that feels like a overarching thing that is important to me. And like, I think right now I just don't have something in like the 5-year or 10-year plan that's super important to me. And it's a bit weird to not have that, and I would like to have that, and I just have to figure out what's like the most important thing to me in both like a 5-year plan and a 10-year plan. And maybe it's just a bunch of like false pressure that I'm putting on myself. Maybe I should just sit with life for a second, but I don't know, it's just my personality. I do like having something more overarching to work towards and to feel is grounding me in all the decisions that I make.
The run went super well. I kept it slow, but mentally I was just feeling really excited to be outside, and the weather was perfect. And then I went to Silk's house and we did a little bit of baking. We made brown butter snickerdoodles and caught up. It was so nice. And then I had dinner with Angela and George, which was also so much fun. I have had a great week and I'm just looking forward to this week. Was a little bit stressful, but overall it was good. I am happy with how everything went with the hackathon, all the triathlon training that I've been doing. It's been nice to get a little bit more into it. I am looking forward to next week being a little bit more chill. The hours I have to work next week are definitely a little bit more regular than this week, so it should be pretty relaxed and chill, or at least I'm hoping. Yeah, I am feeling pretty good and happy overall, so I feel like I've talked a lot in this vlog, so there's not really much else to say. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next week.